Today's case explores a question many people ask after a relationship begins to change. Like, why do some men suddenly lose interest? It really happens overnight. He still says, "I'm busy." He still replies, but something feels different. The excitement fades, the conversations become shorter, and suddenly, you left wondering, what changed? Today, we'll explore the psychology behind why some men suddenly lose interest. And the answer is often more complicated than it seems. Emma met Daniel on an ordinary day. At first, they couldn't stop talking. Morning texts, late night calls, weekend dates. Everything felt effortless. Then, little things began to change. His replies became shorter. He stopped asking about her day. Plans became maybe. Days turned into excuses. Emma kept telling herself, he's probably just busy. But deep inside, she knew something wasn't the same. Psychologists have found that emotional distance can develop for many different reasons. First, honeymoon phase. Every relationship begins with excitement. During the early stages, everything feels effortless. Every text brings a smile. Every conversation feels exciting. And every moment together seems unforgettable. This stage is often called the honeymoon phase, where emotions are heightened and people naturally focus on each other's best qualities. But as time passes, life settles into a routine. The excitement that once came so easily begins to fade. This doesn't necessarily mean someone has fallen out of love. It simply means the relationship is moving into a new chapter. The challenge is that some people mistake the end of the honeymoon phase for the end of love itself. Next, we have the unspoken expectations. Every person enters a relationship carrying expectations, whether they realize it or not. One partner may hope for constant communication, while the other believes love doesn't need daily reassurance. One maybe dream about building a future together, while the other simply wants to enjoy the present. The problem begins when these expectations remain unspoken. Over time, disappointment quietly replaces excitement, not because either person is wrong, but because they were living two different stories without realizing it. Stress outside the relationship. Sometimes the distance has nothing to do with the relationship itself. Work deadlines, financial pressure, family responsibilities, personal struggles. These invisible burdens can consume a person's emotional energy. When someone feels overwhelmed, they may unintentionally withdraw from the people they love, not because they care less, but because they simply have less emotional capacity to give. While this doesn't excuse poor communication, it reminds us that not every silence is a sign of loss love. Communication slowly disappears. Relationships rarely break because of one single conversation. More often, they fade through the conversation that never happened. The good morning messages become less frequent, the late night talks grow shorter, questions are replaced with quick replies, and before either person notices, silence has taken the place where connection once lived. Emotional distance often begins long before physical distance does. Emotional needs go unmet. Every person wants to feel valued, to feel heard, appreciated, understood. When these emotional needs remain unmet for weeks or months, disappointment slowly begins to grow. Sometimes people don't lose interest because love disappeared. Sometimes they simply stop feeling emotionally connected. Small acts of appreciation often matter more than grand romantic gestures. Personal growth changes priorities. People are constantly changing. Our dreams evolve, our responsibilities grow, our values become clearer with time. Sometimes two people who once shared the same path gradually begin walking in different directions. Growth isn't always something that happens together, and while that reality can be painful, it doesn't always mean someone intentionally chooses to hurt the other. Sometimes compatibility becomes clearer over time. Love can bring two people together, yes, but compatibility is what helps them stay together. During the early stages of a relationship, excitement often hides differences. As everyday life unfolds, those differences become harder to ignore. Differences in communication, conflict resolution, future goals, or emotional needs. Sometimes two good people simply discover they want different lives. That realization doesn't make either person villain. It simply means that love alone isn't always enough to build a lasting relationship. Remember, psychology helps us understand behavior, not judge it. Sometimes people don't leave because they stop caring. Sometimes they leave because they stop communicating. Love doesn't disappear in a single moment. It often fades quietly. One conversation, one misunderstanding, one answered feeling at a time. The lesson isn't to chase someone who's pulling away. The lesson is to value relationships where effort, honesty, and communication come from both people. Do you know someone in this situation right now? Or are you in this relationship right now? What do you think causes people to slowly lose interest? You know, relationships really fall apart because of one person's actions. Every story has another side. So in our next episode, we're gonna explore a question that's just as important. It's about why do some women emotionally check out of a relationship long before they walk away? So join us as we uncover the psychology behind emotional withdrawal, the quiet signs that often go unnoticed, and the lessons every relationship can teach us. Thank you for spending these moments with Heart and Mind Stories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're enjoying relationship psychology and meaningful stories, subscribe to Heart and Mind Stories, because every relationship tells a story and every story leaves a lesson.
Until our next story, take care of your heart and never stop seeking to understand the human mind.